Anyways. So then, Saturday we go to the res, and it was crazy. It was so crazy. It was so packed.
So packed.
And let's just talk about, not only was it packed with people, it was packed with the most delicious men I've ever seen in my entire life.
Let me tell you something.
Thank
that
the
team
Lord
of lifeguards, minus the 3 fat ones.
It was delicious. Delicious.
Ugh.
Needless to say, we had to take a long shower.
Very long shower.
Woo.
The best shower I've ever had.
Don't want to tell you. It was wonderful.
Delicious.
It was like I was in a softcore porn. I don't know how
The
to tell you.
entire night. The entire day.
Yep.
And Myron, luckily he has a lot of control over his body because he was in a little Speedo the whole time.
A
So,
little tiny Speedo.
a very small Speedo.
They were all talking about him. They're like, "Oh, you're the Speedo kid." It's kind of weird. It was
He's
fun
so
though.
cute.
We went in the water. Justin was like, "I'm cold."
I've never been in a lake before.
She didn't know what a lake was.
I didn't know what a swamp
No,
was.
she didn't know what a swamp was. She was like,
I live
"So
in
is
Lakeland. I know what a lake is.
Is this like a swamp? I've never been in a lake before." I was like, "You live in Lakeland, land of the lakes."
We don't swim in the lakes in Lakeland. That's gross. We swim in
And
pools.
she's like, "So, but is this like a swamp? This is like
would
a
this
swamp,
be considered
right?"
a swamp?
And
It
I
was
was like-
disgusting. Have you ever been in the lake at the res? Don't do it.
I had a great time.
I had fun. It was just gross.
It was cold. It was
very cold.
good. It was wonderful. And then the whole van of lifeguards drove by us. On
Oh
the
my
way
god,
out.
on the way
Remember that?
back to the car, which was like way
Wonderful.
the fuck out BFE. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Saturday night, we all come back over to my house again to go
Pre-game.
drinking.
Justin was DD. I know, hold on to your
Kudos
panties.
to Justin. Snap, snap. It was fun. It was fun. We were all in my
It was
room.
very fun.
We ended up meeting at Chubby's. We went to Chubby's. There wasn't that many people there.
It was okay. Oh my god, can we talk
Emma
about the
came.
party?
Emma came. Yeah, we can talk about the party. I went in the bathroom at one point, and there was these girls there, and they were drunk, and they were like, I was like, I'm really sorry. I was trying to be really gay. I was like, I'm really sorry that I'm in here. I'm like, I'm so sorry. My friends just wanted me to come in here, and they were like, oh, it's okay. You like boys. It's okay.
Oh, he's gay.
And then there was these 2 drunk pictures with the cups, and they were like,
2 cups.
they were like, we have the perfect boy for you. And I was like, yeah? And they were like, yeah, he would be perfect. You would love him. And I was like, okay. They're like, give me your number. And I was like, okay. They were like, but wait. I don't have enough hands. I'll find you on the dance floor. I'll find you. And I was like, okay, crazy. And so...
Saturday night was the night of bathrooms.
Anyways, I never met up with them again. But they were fun. They were just like, we don't have enough hands.
So then, like, Chubby's was kind of lame. And our friends, who always tell us about these awesome parties, were like, oh, we're at this party and it's poppin'.
I went to the party, and it was the
poppin'.
most scary party that I've ever been to.
Oh my god, the guy was like patrolling his porch. He was like, get the F off my porch unless you're smoking a cigarette. I'm
Yeah,
so
and I don't
scared.
smoke cigarettes, so I had to go inside, and everyone inside was really scary.
I didn't have my cigarettes with me, but I was very afraid of the inside. So I went, I was like, no, but Emma, give me a drag of your cigarette. Every time the guy would walk near me, I'd just be like, don't yell at me! And take a puff of her cigarette. It was really scary.
He was
So then
kind of
we-
hot, though.
He was okay. His attitude made it very scary.
Kind of liked it.
So then we went to the diner. Worst mistake of the night.
Oh my god. Okay, so we go to the diner. First of all, we're waiting there for whatever. I go into the bathroom because I really have to pee. And I'm in there with Sam and Naz, and they're like, come in the girls' bathroom. I'm like, this isn't rain. I'm not allowed to. I'll get, like, killed.
Yeah.
They're like, no, come in here. No one cares. And so we're in there, right? I'm waiting for Sam and Naz, and this drunk bitch walks in. And I'm like, I'm sorry. They told me to come in. This is twice in one night. So I'm like, I'm sorry. They told me to come in. And she's like, oh, you're good, boo. Don't. You're good. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, hey. She's like, do you like black guys? And I was like, I don't know. I've never really been with a black guy. I'm not opposed to it. I don't. And she was like, you know, my gay best friend back in Alabama. And I was like, that's kind of far. She was like, you know, no, you wouldn't like him. And I was like, why? She's like, he's a little chubby.
He's a little chubby.
He's a little chubby. And I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, because he's chubby, you wouldn't like him, right? And I was like, I mean, I never said, you know you wouldn't. And I was like scared by now. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, hang on, my phone's ringing. She's like, Chelsea. No, but Chelsea, where are you? Where are you? Bye. And I was like, oh, Chelsea, that's a pretty name. I like her. She's like, no, she's kind of a... I was like, oh, she's kind of a whore. And she was like,
Code for whore
you
now.
said it, not me. You remember that you said it. She was like, what's your name? What's your name? I want to find you on Facebook. And I was like, Shane Cook. She was like, is that with a Y? And I was like, no, no Y. She's like, okay. And then she was like, no, but what's your name? I was like, Shane Cook.
He has the easiest name to remember ever.
Is that with a Y? I was like, no, there's no Y in my name. She was like, I'm gonna add you. My name's Christina. And I was like, you add me, girl. You go. Oh, I love you. She was like, but what's your name? She asked me 4 times. Shane Cook.
He came back to the table and told us the story, and I was still drunk, and I was just like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. She's a. You're a. I'm not talking to you.
Anyways, so this is when it starts getting bad, though. Up until now, we're like, okay, this is fun. We ordered our food, whatever. So I go up and I'm like, our waiter's MIA. We need some water. I'm really sorry.
We're waiting an hour.
And
At this
she's
point,
like,
it's been an hour.
so she gives us water. And then, literally, we see people come in, order their food, get their check,
And
pay, and leave before we get our food. So we're like pissed. We're like, what the fuck's going on? So Myron goes up there. He's still
and asks the
everything.
waiter, like, what's going on? Where's our food?
He's like, I need to talk to the manager. The manager is our waiter. Myron gets all kinds of Dominican or Cuban or Panamanian, whatever he is. No offense. Love you.
Like,
And he goes all kinds of crazy on him. He's like, we've been here for 3 hours. We need some food. What the fuck is going on? I just need some food. Blah, blah, blah. And so the waiter comes over and is like, I'm sorry, I forgot to put your order in, so it's going to be a little bit longer. And we're like, we've been here for 2 hours already. Like, really, right now? And he's like, yeah, sorry about that. You know, we'll give it to you 30%
it
off.
happened.
He's like, we'll give it to you for 30% off. But he's like, 30% per person. And I was like, I don't
Is
know if you
that
know
different
this,
than the whole bill?
but 30% per person or 30% on the whole bill is the same amount. I'm like, you're a manager. You should know that.
So, pretty much, like, he's an ass the whole time. And he gets tired of us, I guess. So he sends over the biggest cunt waitress I've ever met in my life.
She was awful. She had a ponytail.
Ew.
Who wears ponytails anymore?
Number one problem.
Except for you on your down days.
Dance aerobics!
Anyways,
But she legit was wearing one.
that was a cute
Oh,
one.
honey.
And so she's just like a bitch. And Myron's like, no, I don't want to feel like I'm getting... What'd he say?
Oh, I would hate to think that you're giving me attitude. Somebody from California is calling me.
Crazy.
Okay.
Must be Beyonce.
Oh, hey, boo. I'm busy.
I should not laugh.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
So he was like, listen, you're gorgeous, which was a lie. That bitch was ugly. But, you know, he's like, honey, you're really pretty, but I would just hate to think that we're getting attitude from you.
And she was like, oh yeah, a lot of people think that. It's, you know, don't think about it that way. And we're like, okay.
And if you
okay.
said thank you to her, she'd be like, yep.
She was just like, yep. And we're like, okay, well, she was like, I don't want this to, the fact that this is taking so long to affect my check. And I was
My
like, well,
tip.
my tip. I was like, well, is the money going to go to you or is it going to go to that incompetent prick?
Yeah.
And she was like, it's going to go to me. And I was like, okay, well, you got
So,
nothing
like,
to worry
we were
about,
going to
boo.
legit leave her a
I was
tip.
like, you got nothing to worry about then.
Then, prick-ass Daryl manager comes back.
He comes back and he's all up in our faces.
He, like, spreads his hands across the table and gets really close.
He's
And
like,
I'm, like,
"Don't-"
drunk. I'm scared of him.
He's like, no. And he starts yelling at us.
Yeah,
he's
he's like-
you cannot be rude to our waitresses.
He was like, I'm sorry that you're not getting your food free, but I'm going to have to ask you to be nice to my waitress.
yeah, like implying that we were only there to get free food.
If we wanted free food, we would have left.
He's like,
'cause you're only
I'm
giving us
sorry that we
50%
made a
off.
mistake, but you're not getting any free food. And Myron's like, well, it's a mistake that shouldn't be made. And he was like, well, it was made. And we're like, well, it really shouldn't be. And he was just really rude.
He was
and she was
really
just a bitch. And I left her a cent tip, and she was like, oh, thanks for the nice gesture, but you can keep your cent. And I was like, well, you know, I just know that you're supposed to tip your waitresses how much you think they deserve. And so I thought a cent was sufficient.
And I wrote none, like, N-O-N-E in capital letters on my receipt, and she still didn't bring me back my change.
She's a
Or
bitch.
Justin.
Crazy bitch.
Ugh,
Anyway, so that was
our
last night.
weekend.
Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah, we've got to do this.
Oh my god. Vocab. Time for weekly vocab.
Weekly
and then we're done.
vocab.
Weekly vocab is leprechaun. This is a person who has leprosy, but they don't really have leprosy. They just con you into thinking that they have leprosy. Because they're like, I don't know. Apparently people with leprosy get more money or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they just con people into thinking like, oh, I have leprosy, I'm a leprechaun.
No.
No, they don't.
No, that's not what a leprechaun is. It's like a little Irish man. He's very small, and he's chasing a rainbow with a pot of gold at the end of it.
Like me.
Yeah, pretty much you're a leprechaun.
Irish man who loves rainbows and
wants
loves
a lot of
pot
money.
and gold. It's my life in a nutshell.
Okay, Lache. Sorry, this is so long. Shit.
It was a very intense week. Very
Ugh,
sorry.
there was so
very
much going
sorry.
on. I can't believe it's only been 1 week.
We love you. Have a good
We
week.
love you.
Deuces.